Blessings, everyone. Hope all is well with you guys. Thought I'd do a quick live. I'm getting ready to go in and pick up a couple of things. I wanted to just talk to you guys real quick. Saw a great interview earlier by my cousin, Bishop Dr. William Brown of Boom Ministries, Boom Church, down in Atlanta. And I encourage you guys, if those that are looking for a place of worship, if you are in the Atlanta area, look up Boom Church. And he did a great interview. His YouTube channel is Boom Church. Look him up. I will upload some highlights from that interview later on today. And it was a great interview. The rabbi pointed out the things that I've talked about and others have talked about. Remember what I stated that, when you start dealing with anti-Semitism, when you start dealing with that machine itself, right? It's a lot. It's a lot to go with it. And what we're seeing today is the very thing that the Rabbi Dovid, that's the how you pronounce his name, Dovid. In ancient Hebrew is Dawad. Some would say David. But in a nutshell, he highlighted a number of things. And one of the things that he pointed out is that the label anti-Semitism should actually be called anti-Zionist or anti-Zionism. And guys, when you start really understanding the or understanding the Zionist movement, there's a lot to go with it. And most don't really understand what it means. In the nuggets that he dropped, I've uploaded videos and had videos taken down from YouTube because of those same expressions. So family, he dropped a lot of nuggets. He really gave clarity about the political aspect of the Zionist movement, how the Zionists selectively targeted people, right? That it's a lot to unpack when you really understand. I encourage you guys really understand the Balfour agreement, right? Because it was all about a political agenda, right? And that's what this rabbi brought out. He brought out the political agenda of the Zionists. This rabbi made it clear that he lives in Israel. He made it clear that the Zionists don't like him and others like him because they view them or refer to them as being uneducated because all they focus on is Torah. They don't go out, they don't deviate any teachings outside of Torah. And they view them as being uneducated because they refuse to go through those systems of education. But he really unpacked it a lot in that interview. Family. And sometimes, family, we have to get out of this mode moment we see someone or, their parents and all, and we begin to attack them. We have to be careful of, I've seen some in the comment section as the interview was going forward, literally coming in, posting nasty words and things like that. That interview is so that way you can learn. That rabbi dropped some nuggets there, right? Things that he can say without getting into trouble versus we saying it. I stated before, right? They can write things, right, about their community. But if we make reference to those writings of what they say about their own community, then we are considered anti-Semitic. Now, that Zionist machine, that propaganda machine, what they would label their own people as being mentally challenged, off, they'll use those type of labels, for those that may say something or speak against that political system. Again, this is why I got to give it to her. I got to give Candace Owens props. Why? Because she made it clear. She was the only one that I've heard out of all these Negro peons making it clear that the Anti-Defamation League is a hate group. She was the only one that said that, had the courage to say that, right? So when you start really unpacking the Belfort Agreement and, seeing some of the things that start, you start seeing the agenda. You start seeing the propaganda machine at full, in its full, how can I put it, operation moving forward. You'll start seeing how they use the media to push that number, to pre-program all those at that time to prepare for 6 million. But oh, wait a minute, if I say that, right, if I show sources according to the legal definition, if I say anything that may suggest that the number of the Holocaust was lower than what's being promoted, then that's considered anti-Semitism. When Poland, and I shared this again, in Poland, the Poland Jewish community there, multiple Jewish communities there, but led by the Poland Jews that are there, they, for 50 years, literally was going to the government saying and telling them that they need to change what's written on those tablets, that it wasn't 4 million, and that they reduced the number down to 1.5 million. But when you share that, right, it's okay for that community to share those sources, but it's anti-Semitic when we share the sources. Someone just simply made a post about a movie, didn't kill anyone. The way that this propaganda machine with the gaslighting, they will lead you to believe that Kyrie Irving killed someone. Same thing with the Kanye West, right? You start seeing that propaganda machine. Oh, all of a sudden, there's a height of anti-Semitism in terms of, since Kanye West posts, according to the Jewish Federation in California, they're saying that anti-Semitism, anti-Semitic attacks are at epic proportions, unlike ever before. But then in the same breath, when you understand history, wait a minute, so what happened during the time of the Holocaust, 1941 to 1945? So you're saying that Kanye West is worse than Hitler? See, that's that propaganda machine. See, again, as Kyrie Irving stated, if you want to keep things away from my people, hide it in a book, because most will not read. But unlike before, I believe that the Zionists, that the ADL went to the well one too many times, right? I think they went to the well one too many times, right? If you want to, use the term anti-Semitism the way that it's defined, very generic. As I pointed out, Harry Truman, President of the United States, would be considered anti-Semitic because he compared the Jewish community at that time as being worse than Hitler, as being worse than Stalin. And these are people that led a Stalin was one that led a communist party. But he said that they were worse at that time. But how come we don't hear about him being an anti-Semitic person? Because again, those are his quotes in his diary in 1948, his diary, his journal. You can look it up, his journal, about what he said about the Jewish community in 1948, 1947, 1948. But again, family, we're going to upload, I'm going to upload some highlights from that interview. But I encourage you guys, go watch that interview. Go watch that interview and share the video, because he gave so many nuggets that many of us already know. Like my cousin from Boom has already been teaching. I've taught it as well. Benea, Israel, we've been teaching this. Hebrew Nation, we've been teaching this. But the key, if we say it, anti-Semitism. But when it comes from their community, it's okay. Right? So, and I want to say this, family, and literally what he said again, he stated that the the uh, anti-Semitic term should actually be labeled anti-Zionism. He called out the ADL. He called out all these organizations that's designed for that. That falls right in alignment with that. I'm going to upload a video from the ADL. For me, it's very disturbing because they're bragging about their influence. The leader, he's bragging about how they muscled Adidas. He's bragging about how Adidas initially didn't want to, I guess behind closed doors in their discussions, did not want to terminate their connection with Kyrie Irving. No, not Kyrie Irving, Kanye West or Ye. But how they just went in, they made phone calls. They're on there saying, hey, look, basically 23,000 of them got them to do exactly what they wanted them to do. Family, 23,000. He's bragging and he's giving this speech, this message in front of the ADL supporters. But he mentioned 23,000 caused or forced the hands of Adidas to honor and push their agenda. But yet, we have, according to the census, over 100 and I believe 80, now actually I may be lower than that, I may be exaggerating, but I believe it was like 180 million, maybe less than that, right? Maybe more closer to like 80 to 90 million, right? 80 to 90 million, let's just play it safe there, of our people in this community, in this country, and we don't understand the power that we have. 23,000 was able to force Nike to carry out their agenda, but we have millions here. Spending power is almost $2 trillion, and we don't have that type of power. We cannot come together and say, hey, you know what, Adidas, you know what, Nike, we canceling all of you guys. We don't have that. We don't understand that type of power. We have the largest capital in terms of finances of Negroes outside of Africa. Look it up. Even though Brazil is the largest community, as far as Negro community outside of Africa, but here in this country, we have more capital than any country outside of Africa. But what are we doing with our resources? So family, again, that was a great interview. I don't want to take away, any spoiler, gives any kind of spoilers for the interview. Like I said, if you want to see the interview now, it's on Boom Church YouTube channel. Subscribe to his channel if you haven't. Let's get his subscription up to at least 10,000 before the year is out, because he's putting in a lot of work interviewing the Jewish community, representatives from the Jewish community, to bring and have them highlight some of their concerns, right? It's not like the ADL and make it seem that it's the Hebrew Israelites, it's our community that's bashing them. No, you have rabbis, you have Orthodox Jewish people that are anti-Zionist. And he made it clear, he explained that Zionism is a political party. He explains that. I'm not going to let the cat off the bag. You're going to have to listen. But again, he made it clear that Kyrie Irving is not anti-Semitic, right? Kyrie Irving didn't kill anyone. All he did was made a post. So again, they're going to the well one too many times, family. And I believe that the results in that is what they see today, what they didn't anticipate. They anticipated that, like when you think about the times of the lynching, we're still in the lynching period, But when there was just obvious in the streets and all, during that time when they would lynch our brothers and sisters, it was very effective to keep us in hiding. When you start reading about the lynching period of how our ancestors dreaded, especially Friday and Saturday, because they knew that someone was going to be lynched. So they would dread going outside of their homes. They would teach and, kind of like what we do today when it comes to law enforcement. They'll make sure that each one of them understood how to navigate through their areas, through their community, to try to avoid becoming that person that would be selected to be lynched, chosen to be lynched. So I tell you, family, they really revealed a lot of stuff. In that interview, he revealed a lot of stuff, confirmed a lot that we've already been teaching. And, but like I said, we're not doing exactly what our ancestors, and I'm not knocking our ancestors, because the conditions were it was much different than where we are today, even though we're still dealing with suppression, but they didn't have the avenues that we have. So that's what they were hoping, that playbook, that we would just completely be silent. We would not say anything. But this awakening, you have people coming together talking about this. You have people in the conscious community, whether they agree or disagree, they're talking about it. You have people in the Islamic community, whether you agree with them or not, they're talking about it. You have atheists that don't even believe in Christ, that don't even believe in the Most High. They're talking about it. You have people overseas talking about it. This is something they never anticipated. They never anticipated a movie, a documentary that was created by an individual, on a nickel and dime budget. Now here it is. They tried to use that movie or Kyrie Irving as a means to try to push a bigger agenda, and it's backfiring. So here it is, a movie that didn't have the budget of a Black Panther, a movie that didn't have the budget of that Harriet Tubman movie, the movie that didn't have the budget of, with some of the other movies out there, The Woman King, this documentary that didn't have the budget of any of these major movies, probably done on a budget of maybe $4,000 to $8,000. Here it is. This movie is the #1 movie on Amazon downloads. The book is #1, are bestsellers now. They never anticipated. They didn't anticipate that it was going to surge that way. But family, you could go to the well one too many times. You could go to the well one too many times. And I believe that they've gone to the well one too many times. And it's doing totally the opposite. So what it's doing as well is opening our eyes for who's who, who's for us and who's against us. It's opening our eyes and revealing from within our community those that pretend to be, that look like you and us, you and I, like they say, skin folks, right? Skin folks, but not kin folks. Like the Shaquille O'Neals and all those different guys. I'm not going to keep mentioning their names. But it's exposing so much, family. And they did not anticipate the momentum that it was going to generate. I mean, I saw someone reached out to me, and I also saw some videos about someone that said that watching that movie completely changed their life. They said it was like a Roots movement, like watching Roots. She said it was like watching Roots. And what she meant by that is the information. She went and saw that movie trying to figure out what was the hoopla. What's so big about this movie? Okay, let me see how bad this movie. And when she went to watch the movie, she said, where's the hate for the Jewish community? She don't see any of that. But she said it changed her life. She said it wasn't, she was part of the conscious community. She was part of these different communities, and none of them were able to ask or answer the questions, what was revealed into that movie, the sources that were shared. She said it changed her life. Family, come on now. That's the fear. So family, put a hashtag. Boycott, boycott them all. Boycott them all. Boycott them all. Boycott Nike. Boycott Adidas. Boycott Pumas. Boycott Hollywood. Because 200 actors and actresses have come together to try to get the movie taken down. You know, they're showing their faces. Any movie, look at the list of them and ban their movies. Don't watch none of their movies. Let's ban them all, boycott them all. Let's let out our war cry. Anti-Semitism is simply a war cry to rally the Zionist movement. That's all it is. When you understand the 83rd book of Psalms and you see the word tumult, Hama in ancient Hebrew simply means war cry. And when you look up the word war cry, it says a slogan used to rally a people. So the slogan that is used to rally all the Zionist supporters is that word anti-Semitism. But we have a shout. We have a war cry that we can make out. We can make. So when you understand the Feast of Trumpets, Israel is supposed to come together and let out a shout to split the ears of the adversary, to split the ears of the opposition, to split the ears, in other words, knock the adversary off balance, knock off their, mess with their whole equilibrium. That's what it means. So what we're going to do and what we're doing right now is people are watching this movie, is knocking them off, is messing with their equilibrium, is splitting their ears because of the fact that the response is totally opposite than what they anticipated on it being. So I'm going to upload some of the highlights from that video, but it's a powerful interview and I encourage you guys to go watch it. Hit the like button here, subscribe to the channel if you're not, but go over to Boom Church and subscribe to the channel. He's putting in a lot of work, family. He's putting in a lot of work. He's having interviews with the very people that you only see in videos saying we the people of the book. Subscribe to him. Subscribe to him, family. Boycott them all. I don't even just want to make a shirt that says boycott the NBA. Boycott them all. Boycott them all. Boycott all of them. Every last one of them. Boycott them all. Boycott them all. Boycott them all. Let's establish a list of all those that are supporting, that is pushing this anti-Semitic nonsense on our community. Boycott them all. Let's put together a list among our community. And we just start boycotting them all. Boycott them all. Boycott them all. Boycott the New Jersey Nets. Boycott the NBA. Boycott, as I pointed out, these different sneaker brands. Boycott Gucci. Boycott some of these other clothing stores that made it clear that they did not design their clothes for our people to wear. Boycott them all. Boycott anything that owner of the New Jersey Nets own. Boycott them all. Boycott them all. With that being said, family, let me go ahead and get up in here. Appreciate you guys. Love you, family. We'll do a playbook, but be on the lookout for the uploading of that interview. But I encourage you guys, go to Boom channel, go to Boom Ministries, go to Boom Church rather. That's the name of his channel, and look at that video. He has a couple other interviews he has done with some rabbis. Guess what? Look at those interviews. Let's boycott them all. That's the shirt that we should be making. Boycott them all. Right? Hebrews, boycott them all. Negroes, boycott them all. Come on now. We can say Hebrews to Negroes, boycott them all. Whatever hashtags you want to come up with, boycott them all. You want to try to boycott us? No, we're going to boycott you. Boycott them all. Let's not be selective. Boycott them all. With that being said, family, gotta go. Shalom.